Hello and welcome. Today we're going to have a look at the Ulanzi VL49 lights. They call them vlogging lights because you can put them on your phone and light up your face. But many other uses for them. You can use them as decorative in your house or anything. There's different models of this product though, and we're just going to have a look at the differences between them all. First thing to know, if you just search on AliExpress for Ulanzi VL49, this is the results you'll get. The first one here is the Ulanzi VL49. That is just a white light. It does various shades of white from cold up to warm, and you can set that. You have a few options, but we'll have a closer look at that. Then there's the VL49 RGB, it looks the same from the front, but it also, as well as all the white colours that you can choose, you've got your full RGB. And then you've got the VL49 Pro, which is an upgraded version of the VL49. Then you've got the upgrade, it goes on. Then you've got the upgraded version of the VL49 Pro. I've got both models here, so we can have a look at them both. There's no way of picking whether you get the upgraded Pro or not. So for a while at least, while the stocks last, I suppose you could end up with the old version. I don't believe there's much difference between the two, but we'll have a look at that. We'll see what the differences between the two Pro models are, what the differences between all the models are, so you can decide which one you want best. And I've just looked there. Look at that. The Pro model for $21.89, $18.89 there. Both from Ulanzi store. If you look there, do search through the listings. Now that will be the difference. There probably will be the new version and the old version. So maybe that's how you tell. The newer version's a bit dearer. Might be worth buying the old version and save a few quid. Might be worth just buying the VL49. We'll have a look at all the models now, and we'll compare them to each other. Okay, so here's all the different types of VL49 from Ulanzi. The plain white, RGB, and the RGB Pro. But as I stated before, there is a difference between these two. There's a thickness in the box, and apparently there is an upgrade. I have been using a VL49 Pro, and I have got a couple of criticisms with it, so hopefully they've been answered in this. But first of all, we'll compare the 49 to the 49 RGB non-Pro models. Okay, so they come in very similar boxes. One's glossy, one's matte. This is the white model, white light, although white frame as well, but you can get it in dark just like this one. And this is the RGB model. Now, other than the colour of the frames, like I say, they look pretty much the same. You get the same thing in each as well, an instruction manual. I've been using this one, so I've lost the instruction manual, but you do get the crappy little charger. Far too short to do anything with. Let's have a look at the actual lights now and what differences there are. Okay, so we'll start with the white light, and we turn it on. I'll just show you the backs of both. They're both the same layout in terms of buttons, up, down, mode, and on and off switch. Now this one just does white light obviously, and this one does red, green and blue and white. And the difference initially, I've got to say, between the white lights, I'll just set this to white mode. Okay, I'm not sure how well it'll show up on the camera because they're shining right at it, but they're different tones of white, different warmths. The all white one is a very cold white. Now this one It's a little bit warmer, but you can change the colour of this one, the colour of white it is. So if we use the down button there, let me just put that one out the way for a second. If we use the down button, you will see that it goes to a much warmer white. The cold white on this one is not as cold as the white only light, I don't think. Well, oh no, it's getting there actually. That's all the way up to 9,000, which is the highest it'll go in that colour. This is sort of a mid-range one. It's saying CR95. Now, as I say, the mode button on this one does nothing. It shows you the battery level. That 2 on the battery level. And all these buttons do are turn the brightness up and down. So that's the difference in terms of the white function. Also, this is a more sort of, you can't see the LEDs through that one as much as you can with that one, but it doesn't really matter because these aren't shining right at the camera normally, they're shining at your face. So that's the comparison between the white modes of the non-pro versions. Let's open these 2 pro versions now, and we'll compare the 49 RGB against the 49 RGB Pro, and we'll just also have a quick look at what the difference is between these two. Took the cellophane wrappings off them. Let's just open up the boxes. Easier said than done. I think they've gone to Apple for their box design ideas. It's a nice quality box, but not the best to open. Okay, so this is the old version VL49 Pro, and this is the new one. Box opens better anyway. That's for a start. Okay, seems to have the same manual in each one. Okay, so the layout in the box is different. Now this is the old one. Quick look at that. We'll have a proper look at it in a minute. We'll see what else is in here. Okay, a mesh just to give it a bit of an effect, goes on around the outside like that. Now you also get this silicone pad which just diffuses it really, but I've got to say I've been using one of these for a while now, and you'll see there it doesn't go on quite even and straight. It's not the best. It doesn't fit around properly or anything, so that was my criticism of this light, to be honest with you. We'll see if they've improved that in any way. As well as those two though, I mean basically you have to tape it on, but then as well it slightly covers the mount on the bottom, the camera mount. Although it doesn't cover the hole, whatever you're fixing it onto, it gets caught in it, so it's not the best. The mesh one, which I've never used, but that seems to go on just fine, so hopefully they've made that a better design, just trimmed it up slightly or something. You get 2 metal plates with 3M style tape on the back, and that's because these have magnets on each side of them. The VL49 has shoe mounts. It does have a magnet on the bottom here, which by the way the all white one doesn't, but this one is magnetic, so you get the 2 plates there and a shoe mount, same as you get in well, it's permanently affixed on these ones. It's got the camera mount in the bottom and the shoe mount as well. With this one you've got the option of just putting the shoe mount on or just attaching straight to whatever, which is better actually. These are just plastic. They're not very flimsy. They're a decent enough quality, even though they are just plastic rather than the metal ones you get. But more than enough to hold the weight of this. Very light. Okay, so that's the old style 49 Pro. That's what you get if you get the thinner box. Not something you get to choose really. Oh, right, okay. The new, my God, that is better. The thing I was complaining about, the silicone cover for diffusing, it now goes right over. I thought making it a bit thinner would be better, but that seems better, and even around the hole as well, so whatever you're attaching it to will meet up nicely with that. You can take that off, which I will be doing for my use, but other than that, looks exactly the same. So wow, they've changed the one thing I complained about. What accessories do you get in here? It's better packed, I'll tell you that much. Okay, the same accessories, plastic, 2 metal plates. Oh, and the mesh is full size now as well. That didn't need to change, to be fair, but that's not going back in. Oh, does it have the but? Yes, you've got the switch on the side there. The switch isn't on the back on the Pro model, it's on the side there, look. But there is a hole for that and for the charger as well. So they've really thought that out. That is a brilliant improvement. Right, okay. Well, I'm assuming these two will be the same. I'll test them off camera just to see. Okay, I've tested off camera, and the two VL49 Pro lights are exactly the same. It's only the packaging and the accessories that are different. So let's compare the non-Pro with the Pro model. Okay, so they both got the white modes. I've already shown you what the white mode does on this anyway, so we'll move on from that. They're exactly the same, both models. So press the mode button, you hold down the mode button on this one to change modes, and this takes us to the change colour mode. Now this one's very simple. To change the colours, all you do, you've got this rainbow pattern on the back here, and you basically go along the colours. So say if we want to change this orangey colour to blue, it's around below 240. It's between 200 and 240. So we'll go along. Oh, that's the brightness, sorry. Just switch it to the colour. So we'll go along to around 200, and we should see it start to turn blue then. Oh, that's nice cyan before it, and then 200 is the blue, and then it'll go up into purple, and then into red, well, magenta, and then red. Very, very pinky purple. That's a nice colour, that, I like that. And then it goes to sort of an orange and a red, and then to green. Really seem to get to a red properly there. But anyway, that's the non-Pro model. Very simple to change the colours. We're on the Pro model now, and you've got to be a pro here. You won't be able to see this screen here. It's HS and then sort of a brightness level at the bottom, and to go up and down the options, you've got the up down button here. Again, you won't be able to see that very clearly, but you've got HS and then brightness. So if we change H, I guess that's hue, and S saturation. Now I'm holding that down, and you can see it's not making that much difference because we're on 0 saturation. So we'll go up to 100 with that, and then we'll go down to the S, and you should start to see a colour change happening now. It's trial and error, I've got to tell you. Now around 200 again on the H, so we'll get back up to H. We'll get to 200, and that should be blue. There's no indicators on this light though to tell you like there is on that. It's a very, very simple method, and I really like it. What a shame they didn't bring it over to this. But if I now go back down to saturation, you'll see that it'll get a lighter and lighter blue up until it turns white. Oh, back to blue again. And if we just go up slightly more in the hue, we get to a nice purple or something. And again, change the saturation down, you'll see it just goes from that to a more gentle colour and then into white. It's, I don't have the saturation on anything other than 100, to be honest with you. Okay, so that's the colour changing. A little bit more straightforward on this, and slightly more options on this one. So now we'll go to the next mode. Hold down the mode button, and I'll take it down to number 1, and we'll do the same on this. Okay, so mode 1 on each one is cop car, just flashes red and blue. I'll hold them near so that you'll get a better, because I've got it quite light in here just so that you can see things really. And we'll go through the different modes now. So we just, on the non-pro model, you just press the up arrow there and you press the plus on the pro model to change modes. Ambulance, fire engine. I mean, when you'd use these modes I don't know, but hey, maybe you do role playing and you want the lights. This is emergency on the non-pro model and lightning on the pro model. So it's a different mode there. Fireworks, TV, so it simulates a television being on in your house. Okay, on the non-pro model we're in party mode now for scene 7, and scene 7 on the pro model is candle. I'll just, because you can imagine what the party mode does, just so you can see what candle does a little bit more. Not very good effect, to be honest. And then we've got party mode on here, so if I go back to party mode there, just means you've got an extra option. Okay, so next mode, this goes to scene 8 HS mode, HSI slow, which is just fading through all the different RGB colours. But on here, the next mode is faulty bulb, which is an effect. Yeah, it's not bad. Now if we go on another mode here, we've got pulsing. Here we'll have HSI fast, which is just again going through the colours but quite fast. and next mode. Okay, RGB strobe on this one, but on this one it's just a white strobe. I suspect we'll have an RGB strobe on this one though, on the Pro model. Okay, next, yeah, so we've gone to RGB strobe on the Pro model now. On the non-Pro model, it's a red flashing, just red flash, and it seems to have different speeds there as well. Then to green flash on this one, but this goes to paparazzi. Blue flash, and on the Pro model we're at emergency. It's got a lot of extra modes on the Pro model if you need that. I don't use any of these. And we're back to cop car on there, so that's back to scene 1. So that's all the model, all the modes on that model. Here we're on HL beam, high low beam. So scene 15, 16, we've got the red flash on this one now. 17's the green flash. 18's blue flash. And then we're at the HSI slow, where it just goes through all the colours in slow mode, and then fast is scene 20, and then we're back to cop car. So a lot more modes on this one. Okay, so that's all the different models. Basically the Pro model has more modes. If that's something that you think you'll use those, then it's worthwhile going for that. Other than that, the options are pretty much the same. Obviously the all white one is just one shade of white. It's just for lighting up your face while you do, you know, like selfie filming or whatever, or to light up a scene immediately in front of you. It doesn't have much of a throw. The only other thing you get with the Pro model, of course, is that diffusion layer and the mesh layer, if that's something that's useful to you. It does reduce the amount of light coming out, so for me, I want it to shine on a background, so I won't use the diffusion layer for that. So if you don't need that to sort of, because if you're pointing it at your face, you do need the diffusion layer just to even out the light, to stop sharp highlights coming out, like your nose reflecting really light, you know, like really bright. Other than that, there's not that much difference between them really, and you can probably get away with the non-Pro model, but yeah, it's up to you really what you need, isn't it? Hope that covers everything. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and if you wouldn't mind too much, you could leave a like. Cheers.